Welcome to PVTV English edition. In this program, the state of play in Myanmar. We are going to deliver current affairs review by PVTV. So that our friends around the world who are craving for democracy and human rights get a better understanding of the actual footage of the situations in Myanmar. So please tune in to our program. An ever-revolting Karenni. The terrorist military is using excessive forces to wage a massive operation in Karenni state, a small and sparsely populated state. Since the end of last year, the terrorist military has been targeting Karenni state and has been killing all local people's defense forces and civilians by utilizing almost all military weapons within 4 months of time. On 7th March of 2022, among the 2 air bombs dropped by the terrorist military on a church located in Songdula village, Demoso Township, at around 2 a.m., 1 bomb exploded. The other bomb, which didn't explode, was unearthed by the Karenni Army (KA) and the Karenni National Defense Force (KNDF), and discovered that it was a human-sized bomb which was about 5 feet in size. By looking at the atrocities conducted by the terrorist military and the weapons they used, it showcased how bloodthirsty the coup regime is, including their brutal massacres of the whole population whoever opposes their wrongdoings. In fact, this is one of the closest and the most obvious examples of what has been done by the military regime, as it has been attacking the state of Karenni with countless artillery shells and hundreds of airstrikes and bombings over the months to seize the territory. Like they use it in areas such as Kachin State, Chin, Sagaing and Magui, it is a typical tactic from the military to rely mainly on airstrikes and to use heavy weapons whenever its ground forces are facing defeat, in order to get the upper hand in the attack. Amongst the 300,000 population in Karenni state, about the half, around 170,000, are now displaced because of the war. The vast attacks of the terrorist military of burning down the entire village, or bombings, or using artillery shells have destroyed civilian houses, schools, and churches in cities as well. During the last Christmas Eve, a massacre took place in Fruso Township, Karenni State, where at least 42 civilians were burnt alive, became as a well-known tragic incident to the world since underage children and women, including 2 staff members from the Save the Children organization, were involved. In his statement, Union Minister U Aung Myo Min said, preparations are in order to file the lawsuit on the terrorist military at the Australian tribunal in relation to the massacre, which occurred on the Christmas Eve. All necessary information, including lawyers and representatives for filing this case, have been gathered. The NUG claims that regarding the massacre incident in Fruso Township, it was carried out by the Kamaya 108 team under the 66th Brigade of the terrorist military. Furthermore, the current activities of the terrorist military across the country, including in Karenni state, violate international law and commit crimes against humanity and war crimes. At the ongoing UN Human Rights Council meeting, the NUG submitted a report entitled Serious Crimes Committed by the SAC, which require international action, along with a statement that the terrorist military is committing serious international crimes. Likewise, it is also stated in a report released on 15 March 2022 by the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights that the actions of the terrorist military amount to crimes against humanity and war crimes. Hence, Union Minister U Aung Myo Min said it was in line with the NUG's conclusion. In addition, he explained, the people of our country are working really hard on their end to end all the ongoing war crimes and crimes against humanity as soon as possible, and therefore the report submitted to the Human Rights Council is one which clearly requests the international community to call for a more effective deterrent on the matter. Furthermore, the report also covers the acts of genocide by the terrorist military, which include mass and extrajudicial killings, the use of heavy artillery and airstrikes on civilians, indiscriminate military targets, deliberate large-scale arson attacks on people's houses and properties, acts of vandalism and violent crackdowns on peaceful protesters. In actuality, Karenni State is not too far away from Naypyidaw, where Min Aung Hlaing, leader of the terrorist military, resides. However, more than 1,000 ground troops have been deployed to the military, and the attacks are made from both on ground and by air, all day long, using different small and heavy weapons. Nonetheless, local PDFs have been resisting resolutely against the terrorist military forces. In the earlier days of this year, local PDFs were likely to take full control of some parts of Loiko Township in Karenni State, but as previously mentioned, due to the unbalanced possession and use of weapons, the local PDFs had no other choice and had to withdraw from the territory. During the months-long fighting in Karenni State, some local PDFs have lost their lives. Nevertheless, as the PDF's comrades continue to fight back against the terrorist military forces, Kunbi Tu, one of the leading members of the KNDF and Deputy Minister of the Natural Resources and Environmental Conservation of the National Unity Government, had urged the population to continue to make contributions to the cause, as it is the best way to support the PDFs. Let us win this revolution by the resistance from every corner of Myanmar, and let us all join together to create a more peaceful state for the country where everyone could enjoy equal rights, and continue our revolutionary journey by supporting all the defense forces in Demosol, Pekong, and all other forces, said Deputy Minister Kunbi Tu. Terrorist warlords are launching heavy attacks on Karenni State and Sagaing Division, utilizing a large number of weapons which were purchased from public funds. On March 27th, on the day of the fascist uprising, the military seems to be hoping to hold on by suppressing the areas where people's resistance is the strongest. But looking at the current situation, the revolution participated by the entire public shows no signs of ending, no matter how big the weapons the military uses, and no matter how brutal their atrocities are going to be. It can be analyzed that, from the day of the fascist revolution, the focus has only transitioned from resistance war to the revolutionary war to entirely overthrow fascism.
PVTV ကမြို့တော်လိုင်းရေးဆိုင်ရာအစီအစဉ်ကောင်းတွေကိုနေ့စဉ်တင်ဆက်ပေးနေရရှိပါတယ်။ PVTV ကထုတ်လွှင့်တင်ဆက်ပေးနေတဲ့အစီအစဉ်တွေကို PVTV ရဲ့တရားဝင် YouTube Channel ဖြစ်တဲ့ youtube.com/c/PVTV မြန်မာကို Subscribe လုပ်ကြည့်ရှုပေးကြရဖြင့်တ တော်လှန်ရေးကိုတစ်ဆက်တအားဖတ်မှုသိရှိပေးနိုင်ပြီဖြစ်ကြောင်းသတင်းအောင်ပါလိုက်ပါရရှင်။စိတ်ရကလစ်တွေနဲ့တော်လှန်ရေးကိုနိုင်တဲ့ဘက်ကထိတ်ဆက်အားဖြစ်လိုက်ကြအောင်ပါ။အရေးတော်ပုံအောင်ရမည်။